Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 285.
285.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We're in the last month of Halloween at Walt Disney World, which is hard to believe. I mean, we've been going at it now for 6 weeks.
Yes.
But we're in Paris at this point and enjoying that. They only have a month of Halloween. But now is a great time to think about the holiday season, especially at Walt Disney World, but also on the Disney Cruise Line, at Disneyland Paris, at Disneyland, which has a great Christmas season. And head to MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel for all of your travel needs. I used to be a an authorized Disney vacation planner. They do such a great job over there, and we really recommend them.
Yes, the very best. Check them out, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
So we're heading first to Disney Springs to the T-Rex Cafe. We haven't been there in a couple of years. The T-Rex is part of the Landry's program, and in August it was my birthday, and I received my $25 yearly reward. And the nice thing about Landry's, while we're looking at the menu, is that Yak and Yeti is also included, Rainforest is included, and especially if you are at Walt Disney World on your birthday every year, you pay $25, you get $25 back, and then $25 yearly reward, which is really a terrific deal for T-Rex, for any of the Landry's restaurants, which it's not just at Walt Disney World. I mean, they have at Universal, they have at least one Bubba Gump's, and there's other restaurants as well.
And another great benefit of the Landry's card is no matter how much of a line there is, you can get in almost instantly with your Landry's card. It puts you in the front of the line. One time we went to T-Rex and there was something like a 45-50 minute wait, and we were in within 5 minutes. So it's a really nice bonus. Plus, I should say, it's good till the 15th of the month after your birthday.
The reward.
So if you have the birthday reward. So if you have a bunch of different birthday things like we always do, it's a good one to use towards the end of that time.
Right, because Shula's also, if you go to the Shula's website, you can sign up, and they have a birthday bonus as well, a birthday reward. And that also, I believe, is to the 15th of the next month, which is really nice. We're looking at some of the dinosaurs here. And of course, the thing about T-Rex is that you're dining among the dinosaurs and the stars. And, you know, I hadn't really been there until a couple years ago when we ended up using my Landry's rewards. And I actually really liked it. I wasn't expecting to like it so much. I thought it was a really fun place to look around, but I wasn't expecting to like the food as much as I did.
Right, the food quality was better,
good.
Much better than we had originally remembered from when it first opened. But it's a nice, fun atmosphere. It's nice to walk around and see the dinosaurs, and there's all sorts of activities going on in there.
And by activities, I will say it's a little louder than some restaurants. You have the dinosaurs and such. It's also really more, I don't want to say more kid-friendly, but it is. It is more children, and so it's going to be a little louder. You can see it's not that busy when we first got there, so it wasn't that bad or anything. But certainly when it gets more full, it's a little louder of a restaurant than some.
Well, we sat in the ice age area, and once every half an hour, some kind of loud noise happens. I'm not even sure what it is. Is it a
I don't know. A meteor? I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't remember.
All I know, and you'll see it when we're looking at the food, you'll see the colors going on. All I know is loudness happens once every half hour or so it's harder to talk. All that being said, it's totally worth it. It's just a fun atmosphere, and I really like being in there. And
I especially like it, you know, again, off times for a lot of restaurants I enjoy. So we had a really kind of a relaxed environment, which was very nice. And you can see this it's like an open fire pit here where they cook some of the food. It was a pterodactyl. It's really, if you haven't been, even just to go in and look around is a lot of fun.
You know, all these dinosaurs are reminding me of the Paradisa, the zoo in Belgium that we saw, that dinosaur display. I think we talked about that in a previous show.
The dinosaur display there was really nice. I think they may have even ended that by now. But anyway, here are some of the tables, and again, you're just kind of over, each room is sort of different. Where we were was the Ice Age room, and I actually like that a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I think it's probably my favorite room for our kind of needs.
Well, no, I mean, I like it better. I just like the atmosphere better, and the service. It's when you have the Landry's card, the service is always spectacular.
And I'm actually drinking out of this cup as we speak, as we record this show, although I have water in mine right now, that is not water we're looking at.
It's a pterodactyl painkiller. I looked online and I couldn't even find it on the menu online, so I don't even remember what was in it. It was good though.
It was very good. We shared that. I thought it was quite a good value, and again, nice cup, a nice bonus cup, because we don't have enough cups.
And you had the fire roasted rotisserie chicken. We were splitting our meals, and that was a really nice item.
It was large too. I think we ended up taking half of that home, and I had it the next day. And those rotisserie chickens are the ones we just saw going around on the fire before.
But when they asked what you wanted for a second side, because it comes with the red skin potatoes, I was like, get red skin potatoes, like a double.
You wanted
serving.
double potatoes.
I did, because you ordered rice. There aren't that very many sides, so. But I would have taken 2 potatoes.
Well, we also have another form of potato right here.
Now, this is a really big burger, and I did take like half of this home.
It's a double burger.
Yes, this is the Megasaurus burger. And again, it's only a few dollars more or so than the one patty burger. And I just prefer to have, if it's only going to be a few more dollars, you might as well just slice it down the middle and take the rest home and have a nice meal from it. And then the fries were okay. They were a little overcooked for me, but it was just that bad.
And normally it comes with cheese, by the way, and you ordered it plain.
Right. But that's a really good burger, actually. And there's my
free birthday bonus.
Wasn't expecting a birthday cupcake, and it was pretty good. It was actually better than it looked. I was like, well, it's cute, but it was actually quite tasty.
It was really good. So again, I would recommend going to T-Rex. I had a good time. It's nice to break up the Yak and Yeti. Almost every year we seem to go to the Yak.
Well, I love Yak and Yeti, so it's hard to kind of break away from that, but it was nice, and it's not like you can't go except for the Landry's, card. You can go anytime, but usually we go to the restaurants during that.
So now we're heading down to St. Pete Beach, to the Alden Suites Resort.
And it's been a little while since we've been down to St. Pete at all, probably a few years or so. So it was really nice to get invited. It was a quick one-night event, which was, honestly just enough this time. But the Alden Suites was a lot bigger than I thought when they invited us. It's 141 suites. And really, just to me, it was kind of massive.
Well, you're going to get a look at the old style bungalows here. When it first opened, I think it opened in 1955. This was what it was like, these bungalows here.
Well, they've been renovated. Like this year, I think they were totally finished renovating them. And there used to be more like between 20 and 30 of them. And now there's just 7, but they're really nicely done. And then also you can see there's a 15-person jacuzzi, which honestly is almost pool size. We didn't end up having time for that. So Jeff and I will eventually, I'm sure, make our way back down here on our own.
100% yes, and there's a pool. There's actually 2 heated pools as well as that jacuzzi, and you certainly do not need the heatedness of the pool right now.
No, it was actually like 90 degrees out. And then we'll probably see like the grilling area and such, but you can see, I mean, they really have a lot here. When we went, I thought it was just going to be like a beach hotel. And it is, but there's tennis courts and ping pong and all kinds of other stuff like that.
What's great about those tennis courts is underneath is a covered garage. So on a hot day like this, you get to park your car and have it be very cool.
Yes.
Which is nice for Florida.
And you can see this is the suite that we were given. I actually lived in the St. Pete Clearwater area for about 16 years. So it's not like I've not been to St. Pete Beach, but I didn't even realize this was here. So it really is, if you've seen the Don Cesar, if you've seen the trade winds, that's the area that this is in along that road. Is it Gulf Boulevard? I'm not sure. I don't have that in front of me. But anyway, here is a suite, and I think these are about 600 square feet. And really nicely designed. The bedroom's a little dark. I've seen people mention that online, but at the same time, I would rather have the bedroom dark.
I love the bedroom being dark. I think it's perfect.
And then as you go through the bathroom here, then you see like all of a sudden it's really bright. And we were given a beachfront
view.
right on where you can see the ocean really well.
Well, this couch also pulls out to a bed, so if you wanted to open the door and sleep and hear the ocean and all that, you could do that as well. And of course, there is the star of the show right there. We're going to check that out in a minute.
And not everybody has this view. There are quite a few rooms with it, but there's also other rooms. You might have a pool view. You might have, I don't even know what all the views would be because it's such a pretty decent sized property.
There's everything you need though. You have a microwave, a refrigerator, even a dishwasher there.
I really like that. And I always like having a place where I can kind of even make food at times. So I think this is the only Suites beach or resort also on St. Pete Beach. I don't know that there's suites at any other one, certainly not all suites.
So here is the main attraction, so to speak, the St. Pete Beach view here.
Yeah, and I think we're about to have a storm coming in pretty soon. But it was really nice to have the balcony and the overlook here.
I actually spent quite a bit of time on that overlook with a cold beverage or two.
I was out there also.
And believe it or not, it's really not that far from the Walt Disney World area. I think from our house it took an hour and 45 minutes. Plus then you're in very close proximity to Busch Gardens. And our house guest that was here a couple weeks ago actually went and stayed at St. Pete Beach and went to 2 days at Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I mean, they stayed the day after we did. It was like we came back from Alden Suites and then they went off to wherever they were going and had a really good time. And you can see the balcony here. You just mentioned about the hour and 45. I used to live, when I lived in Pinellas Park area, it was about an hour and a half. And I think this is just a little bit further than that. When I used to go to like Animal Kingdom all the time, like once a week, once that opened.
And you lived so close to Busch Gardens, still going to Disney, not a zoo.
Well, Busch Gardens was about a half hour away, but Walt Disney World's Walt Disney World. So, you do Busch Gardens, but you also do a lot of the parks in Orlando, which is why I live here now. In Orlando.
So we're looking at the beach again, and there's quite a bit of activity one can do on the beach.
Right. Suncoast Water Sports is right here. They get great reviews, as does Alden Suites online. But they have these beach, what do you call them, cabanas?
Yep.
As well as we did a sunset cruise, which we'll probably talk about for a minute. And then kayaks and parasailing, which I'm not a parasailing person. I tried it once and that was it. You haven't done it yet, though.
No, we ran out of time. It was kind of a quick trip, and I wanted to get all this footage as best I can, so work has to come first. But that does look like a lot of fun. Yeah,
I mean, that's the one thing when you do, like, let's say one night somewhere, especially, or like we're going to do a 2-night Carnival cruise coming up. Really, we spend so much of the time photographing, and that's what I love. I love to do that. But next time, maybe we'll try something else.
So you talked about that sunset cruise, and we are on the cruise now. You could see the Alden Suites in the background, and we're heading out to see the sunset. It did not disappoint on this night.
Yes, although we're moving away. Do you see those storms? There were storms around, although we were sort of moving away from them, which was exactly...
Our captain was perfect.
In other words, he got us around the storms.
He sure did.
But this was a really nice time, and it's really like a bruise cruise. I think they gave us a couple. Yes, you can see the sunset. Jeff has his hand out.
It's such a beautiful. Even looking at it here, it was a gorgeous sunset.
And it started an hour before sunset, and it looks like it's $35 for adults and $25 for kids, and it includes beer and soft drinks, which I think is it was a really nice time. Like, that's something that I would do, and I would also go back to the Alden Suites, and we wouldn't talk about it so much. If we didn't think that we would want to go back, which I can't even imagine going to any of the other hotels now.
Yeah, I mean, it exceeded all of my expectations in every way.
So now we're heading to Tokyo Disneyland. Jeff and I have not been there, but Jonathan, who listens to us and is a friend of ours, does go here. Actually, it seems like he goes here a lot. So you can follow him at Instagram, JONATHANUK1. He shows all his travels there. Right now, we're just walking into Tokyo Disneyland.
And I see Halloween already.
Yes, Halloween. And we also had seen the monorail going towards the Disneyland Hotel there.
Very cool looking monorail with those Mickey-shaped windows and everything. I like the look of that one.
I like the monorail there. I think it goes to the Hilton as well, and not just the Miracosta and the Disneyland Hotel. So we are here in World Bazaar. Again, we've not been there, so it's really fun to see it in video the way he shot it. He says, and he gave us sort of a script to talk about it, but it's an intersection and not just one street. So this shows a view towards Adventureland. One of the views was towards Adventureland. and it contains also New Orleans Square.
I like the look of this display. Very nice.
And it's the 35th anniversary sculpture, and it's something that you see like on Instagram a lot. Like I follow a lot of Tokyo accounts, and it's decorated for Halloween, as is a number of different. They have quite a bit of Halloween in the park. Right now we're just kind of walking around. I know we're going to end up at a magic shop in just a minute too.
Well, I think you said we're going to see a piano player, but a strolling piano player? That intrigues me. Oh, there it is. There he is. So, and there's actually somebody like that at Disney Springs, but it's a motorized. This looks like it's pedal powered.
And it doesn't look like he's going anywhere right now because, like, I don't think he can. I don't know if he can pass that pole or not. Maybe he could. But anyway, here we are kind of looking around, and the one thing they have here is actually a magic shop, and it's like when you go to Disneyland, Disneyland has a magic shop that has magic in it, where Walt Disney World's, we say like House of Magic or whatever it says outside, but there is no magic inside.
There used to be, though. There used to be tons of, the whole place was filled with magic when I was a kid. And they used to have these rocks, and you would be able to, they looked like it was a real rock, but it was styrofoam. So we would always get those and play tricks on our family with it when we were little kids.
I never noticed that. I don't know if I bought anything from the magic shop, and I think we're going to take a peek in there in just a moment.
Not even a whoopee cushion?
You know what? I don't want to say I have had a whoopee cushion, but I don't know that it came from Walt Disney World.
It's never better than from Walt Disney World.
And here we are looking at that sculpture again, but it looks really nice lit up. I have not seen video of it lit up before, so that was kind of special.
Look at this, actual magic for sale.
I don't know why we don't have magic in the Magic Kingdom.
Even better, a Disney-themed magic. You cannot beat that.
And I don't think they have that at Disneyland.
No, they don't. They do not. It's just generic, regular magic stuff, not branded. So really the merchandise here is outstanding.
I think all of the shops have kind of different merchandise. Like it's customary for guests to go and pick up gifts, is what I've heard in the past.
So a very familiar looking castle, just like our Cinderella castle, although this one seems a bit darker to me.
Yeah, that's what he said was more brown and darker than Florida. He thinks it looks more realistic.
And I think we're going to see a quick glimpse. There it is, the blue over there. That sort of looks like the entrance to Tomorrowland. Used to look way back in the 70s and 80s at Walt Disney World.
And I don't even remember that. You would think that
water used to shoot down from those.
When new things happen, it makes me forget a lot of times what the old stuff looked like.
Never forget. You should not forget.
But I guess that's why, you have your footage so
Progress.
that we can look at how it is. And you can see a whole bunch of Halloween decorations here.
And these are not the actual Disney princesses. I believe they're guests that are dressed up like that.
They dress up a lot in Tokyo. I've noticed that online. And here we are with more Halloween, which I think they really do Halloween in the Asia parks very nicely.
Well, this is where the brambles would be if this was Disneyland Paris.
I'm looking forward to that. We'll be there so soon now to see that. But I know we've talked about going to Asia at some point for Halloween.
I love it. Look at the guests going down the steps. You will never see that at Walt Disney World.
And what we had been looking before, it's a Halloween sculpture in the back of the castle. And they have a Cinderella's Fairy Tale Hall, which has a gallery with different art depicting her story, her throne, and slipper. We can, like in Disneyland Paris, you can go to the gallery and there's a balcony.
Oh, you can do all of that, but I'm talking about you could not do it at Walt Disney World. Looks like we're in It's a Small World, and like at Disneyland, there are actual characters, Disney characters, among the Small World dolls.
And that was new. I think that was maybe about 6 months ago that they were added. And so like when Disneyland did it, I thought it made it even better.
I thought it was better too. It was very controversial at the time, but I quite liked it. We just saw Baloo back there, and we saw Aladdin. Stitch. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, Hercules, I know I saw. There's Lilo and Stitch.
And yep. Lilo and Stitch are in the Disneyland version. I think some of these characters are not.
Oh, Moana, look at that.
Oh yeah, and she is not in the other version. So I think having the characters in it is a bonus, not the other way, like a detriment.
So I see a ghost driving this truck here. At least it looks like a ghost. Very spooky.
There are ghosts all over. I have seen so many pictures of ghosts. It's again like Disneyland Paris, where you have so many ghosts, but different. So those are really interesting in Tokyo.
So it looks like there's some kind of display here, all lit up.
And I think I was gonna say it looks like the sculpture, but it's not. It must be a different one. But that's really nice with the. I think you may have some You have some ghosts in here too, and I actually have seen photos of some of these ghosts before. And then you have like tombstones and such. The Asia parks seem to have a little more spookier of a Halloween than we have, and even more so than Disneyland Paris, which I think used to have a little more of a spookier one.
So now we're looking at a very awesome light parade. Is it Dream Lights?
This is the Dream Lights Parade, which everybody says is like the very best nighttime parade. I have seen video of it, but I just don't think video would do justice to it.
Right, just like Paint the Night. I had seen video of Paint the Night from Hong Kong before we saw it live, and after seeing it live, it was amazing. It's probably my favorite parade, but we have not seen this in person yet.
And it seems like they update this almost like every year where you add a little something to it. But this is really, like if it rains, there's some sort of a rain parade, I believe, as well. But this looks really fantastic. And you see, like we saw Genie, but you see a lot of the Disney characters here as well.
I see Rapunzel back there, and you're right, there's the Genie and Aladdin. So yeah, it looks great. Again, thanks so much to Jonathan for sending this footage to us. We're going to have added footage on other shows with Hong Kong and with Tokyo Disney Sea, so a lot to look forward to.
And again, it looks like Halloween there is fantastic. There's a lot to see there. I mean, you now have 3 Asia parks. You have Shanghai and Hong Kong, and well, 4 Asia parks because you have 2 over in Japan.
We need to get on the horn and call MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel and book one of these trips very soon for us.
So I'm sorry that we don't know everything about Tokyo yet, but we'll try to get through it. I do pay attention a lot to the Tokyo accounts, but it just isn't the same without experiencing it in person, and we will at some point.
So anyway, that is another show.
That's another show, thanks to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel, who can take you to Asia and so many other places. They can book so much, not just Disney, but all over the world.
So next week, it'll be a full show all about the all-new Carnival Horizon, at least new to us. We just had a cruise on that a few days ago, but by the time the show is out, it'll be a few weeks ago.
And with the Carnival Horizon, they actually began it in April, but it was in Europe at the time, then New York, and then we just did a couple of nights on it in Miami. And then after that, once we're done with Carnival, the next week will be like a Disneyland Paris show.
Right, so lots of goodness to come. Thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.